These are the two vowel sounds we're going to focus on in this lecture. Ah, as in far, and air, as in hair. So the first thing you noticed, I'm sure, is that the first vowel is long. Ah, far, ah. The shape of the mouth is not too wide open, but it's not relaxed either. It's in the middle. Ah, ah. Can you see that? And the sides of the mouth are not wide. They are relaxed. Ah. On the other hand, the second vowel sound, air. Can you notice the sides of the mouth? They start wide and then they relax. Air, air, hair. Can you see this? So this is one of the differences between these two sounds. As I said, the first one is long, ah, and the second one is actually two vowels squeezed together. That's why we change the shape of our mouth when we say this second vowel. Air, air, hair. Okay. Another thing I'd like you to notice is the spelling of the example words I gave you. Far, F-A-R, is pronounced far in British English. In American English, the R at the end of the word is pronounced far. Can you hear that? This is the American pronunciation, far. But in British English, when the R comes at the end of a word, we do not pronounce it. So when the R is at the end, it just turns into a long vowel sound. In these two examples, we have far and hair. Can you hear the R sound is not pronounced? So this is a feature of British English. Now, let's move on to the target sound practice for the first vowel sound, the long R sound. Notice the shape of the mouth again. It's not very far open and it's not relaxed. It's in the middle. Ah, ah. And the sides of the mouth are not wide. They are neutral. Ah. Okay. So let's look at the word list. As always, notice the spelling and keep an eye on the orange highlighted parts so you can really focus on the target sound. Listen and repeat after me. Car, ask, half, stars, party, Iran, marvelous, chance, farmer. Okay, and as you can see, look at the spelling. Notice there are many examples of AR, car, stars, and party, for example. And the R sound in these words is unpronounced. Okay, we do not pronounce the R sound. The rule is when the R sound comes before a consonant, we do not pronounce it in British English, or if it comes at the end of a word, like car. It just turns into a long vowel sound. So yeah, again, notice the spelling as always. Keep an eye on this so that you can start to recognize some patterns in the relationship between spelling and sound. Okay, this is very important for pronunciation. Now, let's move on to the second vowel target sound practice. Remember, this vowel is two vowels squeezed together. So the shape of the mouth changes slightly in the middle of the sound. Air, air. So notice it's wide and then it's relaxed. Air, air. Okay, hair. Let's look at the target sound practice list. Notice the spelling as always. In this one, you can see many examples of R, which is actually unpronounced, as I mentioned before. So, listen and repeat after me. Air, hair, chair, scary, square, everywhere, downstairs, there, pair. Okay, fantastic, well done. Again, notice many examples of R, which is unpronounced. Okay, the R sound is unpronounced in these positions. Sometimes we pronounce it in British English. If the R is at the beginning of a word, we pronounce it. For example, run. Of course, we pronounce the R sound in this position. If the R sound is before a vowel in the sounds, we pronounce it. For example, from, F-R-O-M. O is a vowel sound and R comes before it, so we pronounce the R, from. However, if the R comes before a consonant sound, we do not pronounce it. Or if the R comes at the end of a word, we do not pronounce it. It simply turns into a vowel sound in British English. This is a main feature of British English, the real difference between American and British accents. Now, this is a key part. Let's look at the minimal pairs for R and air, so you can really start to distinguish between the two sounds. So on the left we have R, and on the right we have air. So listen to the pairs and repeat after me. Far, fair. Par, pair. Star, stare. Bar, bear. Tar, tear. Car, care. Okay, I hope that's helped you a lot in really distinguishing between these two sounds. It takes some time to start to notice when you use these sounds, especially with the R sound. When we drop it in British English, sometimes it's difficult to know when to drop it, when to pronounce it. But after practice, and when you start to notice the spelling rules, you will master these rules, okay? You'll master when to pronounce the R and when not to pronounce it, when to just use a long vowel sound, for example. So let's look at the target sounds in use now. Look at these sentences. As always, repeat after me, model my voice, and try to focus on the target sounds. So sentence 1, we're focusing on the long R vowel sound. Mark's new car is so fast. It's marvelous. Sentence 2, we're focusing on air. Where's Claire? She promised to cut my hair. Okay, and sentence 3 is a mix of the two target sounds. There's a tear in this chair. Ask Arthur to repair it this afternoon. Okay, that last one was a bit of a challenge, but if you want to keep practicing, just hit the rewind button. And also, as always, the MP3 is very, very important to keep listening to, because you can put the MP3 on your phone or on your MP3 player and you can listen anywhere. So make sure you download that. See you in the next lecture.